And we welcome you to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez. I will be your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. This evening I'll be joined by Mark Cavallo, our general manager, who's doing some duties right now, but he'll be back here shortly. The Newton Rebels are in the fourth game in the four-game series against the Great Bend Batcats. The Batcats have won 3 games, so this is the last game of that four-game series. After that, they'll take a small break for the All-Star game on Saturday, and then we'll be back in action on Monday as they will be facing the Hayesville Aviators. The standings for so far, the Hudson Monarchs defeated Cheney Diamond Dogs last night, so both teams are tied at 23-5. In second place with a 21-7 record, the Rose Hill Sluggers. And then in fourth place is the Great Bend Batcats at 15-16. The Derby Twins at 11-16. The Mulvane Patriots at 10-18. Newton Rebels at 9-18. Followed by the Sunflower Seeds at 8-20. And then the Hayesville Aviators at 6-21. I was asked whether I thought that the Newton Rebels would be able to get into the World Series or not. And it all depends on how they do the next 4 games, or actually 5 games. This game here against the Great Bend Batcats, and then 4 against the Hayesville Aviators, who are right now in last place so far. The schedule looks, the Batcats and the Rebels are the only game here today, as this was supposed to be an off day, but this is a rain-up makeup game. We'll have the All-Star game on the 25th and only have one game on the 26th. That's also a makeup game between the Derby Twins and the Hayesville Aviators. Actually, the Hayesville Aviators need to win that game to give the Newton Rebels a chance if the Newton Rebels do win the next 5 games, because then the Twins and the Patriots, the 2 teams in front of us, will be battling off the last 4 games. The Newton Rebels will be facing the Aviators, the very last team in the standings. The Diamond Dogs will be facing the third-place team, the Sluggers, in the last week. And then the Monarchs will be facing the Sunflower Seeds, which is the next to last team. So it is possible, depending on how many teams they take from the Sunflower League. But if they do take 4 or 5, then I would say that the Newton Rebels do have a chance to make it to the NBC World Series. Here's the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the Great Bend Batcats, leading off and playing center field will be number 4, Alex Rogers. Batting second, the second baseman, number 8, Colin Minard. Batting third will be the first baseman, number 20, Jake Baker. Batting fourth and playing left field will be number 6, Brady Mitchell. Batting fifth and catching number 3, Chandler Bloomer. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 25, Tyler Henry. Batting seventh and DHing, number 16, Christian Oliver. Batting eighth and playing third base will be number 2, Chance Ragsdale. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 7, Seth Kanegi. And pitching for the Batcats will be number 12, Adrian Talavera. The head coach for the Batcats is Roger Ward. And now here's the starting lineup for your Newton Rebels. Leading off for the Rebels, we had a late scratch. Now leading off will be number 1, Andrew Brotman. Batting second, the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley. Batting third and playing first base, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. Batting fourth and DHing will be number 17, Enzo Bonventry. Batting fifth and catching number 23, Joey Martinez. Batting sixth and playing second base will be number 3, Lachlan Ross. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 9, Eric Garza. Batting eighth and playing left field will be number 5, Aaron Eshelman. Batting ninth and playing center field will be number 14, Sam Cassane. And pitching for the Newton Rebels, we have a new arm here in the Rebels lineup, will be number 10, Luke Royal. That's correct. Luke Royal has rejoined the Newton Rebels. He played with the Rebels last year, so he will be pitching for the Rebels. Once again, this is a must game for the Newton Rebels as they have 5 games left. If they do win all 5 games, they will end up at 14 and 18. The Derby Twins must lose on Sunday. They will go to 11 and 17 if they do. And then the Derby Twins, which is the team right ahead of us, and the Mulvane Patriots, I should say, must win 3 games out of 4 against the Derby Twins. And the Newton Rebels could move up, clear up to 4th place. And that's actually 5th place, but the Cheney Diamond Dogs have already qualified for the NBC World Series, so they will end up in 4th place and then possibly have a chance to go to the NBC World Series. We're going to pause for our national anthem, and we'll be right back. At first base, number 21, Andrews. Second baseman will be number 3, Ross. At shortstop, number 1, Brotman. At third base, number 55, Riley. Left fielder will be number 5, Eshelman. Center fielder, number 14, Cassane. Right fielder, number 9, Garza. Catching will be number 23, Martinez. And pitching tonight will be number 10, Luke Royal. This is Luke Royal's first game with us here this season, but he did play with us last year. So he will be pitching here tonight as the Rebels are in need of some arms, and he will be starting here tonight. First batter that he will be facing here will be the center fielder, number 4, Alex Rogers. Royal pitched last year. He pitched 1 game. But he's basically an outfielder for us. And needing some arms, they decided to go get Luke Royal. Once again, the first batter will be the center fielder, number 4, Alex Rogers, for the Great Bend Batcats. And hello there, Mark Cavallo.
Good evening there, Frank.
There you are. You're not wearing your red. Okay.
No, we this is my lucky shirt.
Okay. So Rogers is the first batter. First pitch to him is a ball one. Count is 1 ball, no strikes now to Rogers. Rogers is a 5'10", 190-pounder from Barton Community College. Hometown is Omaha, Nebraska. Rogers fouls that one off, and that will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's good to see Luke Royal out here back in his old Rebels uniform.
Back in number 10, isn't he?
Yep.
So here's Royal's pitch. That one missing outside for ball 2. So the count goes 2 balls, 1 strike now to Alex Rogers, as we're just getting started here in the top half of the first inning. I was trying to explain to the folks that the Newton Rebels still have a chance to possibly make the NBC World Series. Ball hit to the third baseman. Nolan Riley goes over to first to Andrews for out number 1. So a 5-3 put out for the first out. That will bring up the second baseman, number 8, Colin Minard. Minard comes in batting .295. He is a 6-foot, 190-pounder from Deerbrook, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Nobody knows. I mean, you've seen the uncertainty with the NBC. And
here's Royal's first pitch, missing high for ball 1. So the count is 1 ball, no strikes to Colin Minard.
And I think it's just going to go down to the last games and see who can make it. You know, some of the other teams from out of state. And
well, that's just it. Not knowing how many will be coming from out of state will tell how many is going to be used here from the Sunflower Collegiate League.
Right.
And we know that the Cheney Diamond Dogs are automatic in because of the second placing last year. And then the winner of this league will get a chance to go, which most likely will be Hutchison.
Right.
I mean, between Hutchison and Cheney.
Well, and like you said, Cheney's in it, so the next team would be Hutch.
Right. That one in there for call strike 1 as the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Then you got the Rose Hill Sluggers.
Yeah, they've had a very good season.
Also the Great Bend Batcats. That one I'm missing for ball 4. So Minor will reach on a base on balls, and that will bring up the first baseman, number 20, Jake Baker. So it just all depends. The Mulvane Patriots and the Derby Twins will be facing off in the last week, which are the 2 teams ahead of us. And I was looking at the standings, and if Mulvane takes 3 from Derby, we could end up with 14 wins and 18 losses.
I mean, Frank, if there's ever a time we need a streak, right now that we need a winning streak, it's right now.
Yeah, exactly right. And if we play like we did last week, here the last 5 games, then like the way we played against Cheney, then we definitely have a chance. The count goes to no balls and 1 strike, I believe. It's 2 strikes, no balls, 2 strikes now to Jake Baker, as there is a runner on at first base as Minard reached on a base on balls. And here's the pitch by Royal. That one missing low for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jake Baker. So number 10, Luke Royal. He's pitching. There's the ball thrown down to second base, but going to be in safely is Minard. So a stolen base by Minard. And now the Batcats have a runner on at second base with 1 down.
You know, it's always interesting, especially the 4-game series. We used to do this in college, and by the time you get to the 4th game, you kind of get to know each other. And you get to figure it out, and you see right now with Coach Ward, he's very aggressive.
Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Jake Baker. Baker's a 6'4", 220-pounder from the University of Kansas. and his hometown is Lawrence, Kansas. Baker does come in batting .288 as he's appeared in 30 ball games.
Yeah, he had 3 walks last night with a double and a single.
Count goes full now to Baker, and here's Luke Royal's pitch. That one in there for call, strike 3. A great pitch there by Luke Royal as he records the first strikeout and the second out of the inning. That will bring up the left fielder number 6, Brady Mitchell.
Mitchell, of course, had a big home run yesterday. I mean, he had 3 hits, a home run, 2 singles, and a walk.
That's correct. Mitchell is a 6-foot, 200-pounder from Emporia State University. His hometown is Great Bend, Kansas. So Luke Royal ready to go. Work against Mitchell. First pitch is hit to the third baseman, and nice job there by Nolan Riley. He did try to make the tag there on Minard as he's going by. Did not get it, but he went over to first base to Anders and make the out for out number 3. So a 5-3 put out for the third out. The top half of the first inning for the Batcats. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're going to stay right here, Carv.
All right.
We need to get our sponsors in here as we just are underway.
Definitely.
We'd like to thank Miller Insurance Agency, American Family Insurance, Duty Works, Conradi Insurance Group, Boston Insurance, Pouch Enterprise, Realty Connections, Roofing Services Unlimited, Shamrock Car Wash, Pate and Paul's Attorneys at Law, Affordable Autos, Remax Associates of Newton, Kansas, the Tim Marler and Family, Carl Hodges, Dr. Brett Rolfs, DDS, and John and Lori Odom, Newton Rec Commission, Bob Burke Correction, Buy Loco, and Ray Roofing. Also like to thank our host families, Connie Miller, Joe Petlow, Michelle and Brett Kaufman, Robin and Christopher Eshelman and Aaron Eshelman, Tammy Smith, Chad and Joni Considine, and Zach Bravo. Once again, we couldn't do it without our sponsors and our host families.
And if anybody's interested, especially for next year, Frank, I mean, we'd like to have a lot more sponsors. I'd like to have Frank read that for about 2 or 3 minutes. That'd be pretty nice.
Defensively for the Great Bend Batcats at first base will be number 20, Baker. Second baseman, number 8, Minard. At shortstop will be number 7, Carnegie. Third base, number 2, Ragsdale. Left fielder will be number 6, Mitchell. Center fielder will be number 4, Rogers. Right fielder, number 25, Henry. Catching will be number 3, Bloomer. And pitching this evening for Great Bend will be number 12, Adrian Talavera. And we'll see what we have on Mr. Talavera. He is a 5'8", 148-pounder from New Mexico Military Institute. His hometown is El Paso, Texas. He also has pitched. Comes in with a 3-1 record and a 4.55 ERA as he's appeared in 6 games. Has started 5. Has gone 27 2/3 innings. Has struck out 34, given up 11 walks and 33 hits. The first batter he'll be facing is shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman. And this is a late scratch here for the Newton Rebels, as they did have Sigris in there.
Well, he showed me his hand, and it's pretty swollen on the inside right here. So he thought maybe take a night off right now because it was kind of painful when he swung.
So Andrew Brotman was moved over to shortstop. First pitch by Talavera is called strike 1. So the count goes no balls, 1 strike now to Andrew Brotman. And here's Talavera's pitch. Swing and a miss there by Brotman. And the count goes no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Brotman, he's choking up. That's good to see. I mean, guys doing this 2-strike approach.
Here's Talavera's pitch. That one missing low for ball 1. So the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Andrew Brotman. As we're just underway here in the bottom half of the first inning with no score. Brotman, 6'1", 185-pounder from the University of New Orleans. That one missing high for ball 2. So that will even up the count now at 2-2. His hometown is our Kansas City.
That's right. Fellow Bulldog. You get to hear that every time you bring up that, don't you, Frank?
And here's the pitch by Talavera. Breaking ball, that one hit to the third baseman Ragsdale. It is foul as he moves to his right. So the count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brotman comes in batting .269 as he's appeared in 29 ball games, has been up the bat 119 times, has 32 hits, 24 runs scored, and he has 15 RBIs. The count is 2-2 now to Brotman. And Adrian Talavera ready to go. Here's the pitch. That one also fouled off by Brotman as Brotman's hanging tough.
Yeah, that's good to see. Make him throw some pitches and let the other guys behind him. You know, you got Riley right there that see some pitches, see what he's throwing.
So Adrian Talavera ready to go. And here's the pitch. That one missing outside for ball 3. And as that one gets away from the catcher, goes back to the backstop, but with nobody on.
And I always feel like that's the toughest job, one of the toughest jobs as a leadoff hitter of the game, because you don't know this pitcher. And the guys at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down the, they could see a lot of pitches.
Count is full now, and here Talavera's pitch. Swing and a miss there by Brotman as he goes down swinging for out number 1. That is the first strikeout recorded by Adrian Talavera. That will bring up the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley. Riley is a 6'2", 195-pounder from Arkansas Fort Smith, and his hometown is Augusta, Kansas. Here's the pitch. That one missing high for ball 1. Riley also has he's only appeared in 16 ball games here for the Newton Rebels. He comes in with a .327 batting average. He's been up the bat 55 times, has 18 hits, and has scored 10 runs. That one lifted to the right-hand side. That's going to be out of play.
But I think what's impressive, Frank, if you look at his walk to strikeout ratio, 13 walks to 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's done a very good job. Has very good control of the bat, and like I say, and has a good eye there, as you've noted, that he has 13 strikeouts at his 55 at bat. The count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike now to Nolan Riley, as we have 1 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. Breaking ball missing as that bounces away from the catcher, Bloomer.
And somebody asked me, we were watching Riley yesterday, and I was down there watching the game, and somebody asked, do you think his hands are a little high? Well, it doesn't matter where your hands are it's where you get it loaded into where your hands are once the pitch starts coming. And if you notice, he has that high above his helmet.
Mm-hmm. That one in there for call strike. A fastball there by Talavera. So the count will even up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's just like a golf swing. If you get it set in the right position.
Yeah, it's
make good contact. Here's Talavera's pitch. Break that fastball missing high for ball 3. So another full count now here as Nolan Riley is up there with 1 down. Here in the bottom half of the first inning, no score as we're just underway.
But I like Brotman and Riley are making him throw pitches. He's already at 16 pitches.
That one lifted to over the backstop for a foul ball. And the count stays full at 3-2. So Riley fighting hard at the plate, and so is Talavera. We'll see who wins the battle here, as here's the full count pitch, and that one lifted into right field. The right fielder, Henry, moving to his right, now moving in, makes the catch for out number 2. So fly out to right field for the second out. That will bring up the first baseman, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. Lincoln Andrews is a 6'4", 215-pounder from Southeast Missouri State. And his hometown is Cannon City, Colorado.
And he's been hot because if you remember the first of the year, he was kind of struggling right at first, getting his timing down. Now he's hitting .395. That's amazing.
That one hit hard into center field. The center fielder, Rogers, backing up, camping underneath it, makes the catch for out number 3. So a fly out there to the center field for the third out. Bottom half of the first inning for the Newton Rebels. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 1, we have no score, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. I'm joined this evening by General Manager Mark Cavala as we go to the top half of the second inning. This game is between the Great Bend Batcats and your Newton Rebels. Due up for the Batcats is the catcher number 3, Chandler Bloomer. He'll be followed by Henry and then Oliver in the hole. And Luke Royal starting his second inning of work. Were you surprised to hear that Mr. Royal was coming in, joining the team here?
No, I mean, like, we have a good relationship, Luke and I. And so, I mean, you know, I told him he's definitely welcome this year, but he had the opportunity because he goes to school down in Centenary, Louisiana, that he could go play down there. So, you know, he's from Dodge City. So when he came back home, hey, he likes to play. He wants to play baseball.
Okay. Well, up in this second inning for the Batcats will be the catcher number 3, Chandler Bloomer. Bloomer is a 6', 195-pounder from Ottawa, Kansas. His college is Barton Community College. First pitch to Bloomer is ball 1. So 1-0 now the count. Bloomer comes in batting .302 as he's appeared in 14 ball games. Has been up to bat 53 times, has 16 hits. That breaking ball in there for call strike 1. So the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Has scored 13 runs and has a total of 11 RBIs. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Chandler Bloomer. That one missing inside for ball 2. 1-2 now the count.
And I asked Luke if he was ready to pitch, and he said he pitched about a week ago. So he's been playing this summer.
Good, that's good to hear. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bloomer as he's the first batter here in the top half of the second inning. That one is fouled off by Bloomer, and the count stays at 1-2.
You know, and I flash back to Luke Royal being a Rebel, had some great highlights here. I mean, you could have a great highlight reel of him. You know, some of his catches, his hits, pitching. He's a very good athlete.
Here's Luke Royal's pitch. That one missing inside for ball 2. So the count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Chandler Bloomer, who is catching this evening for the Great Bend Batcats. 3-2 now. Count goes full, 3-2. And here's Luke Royal's pitch. That one missing high for ball 4. So Royal records his second walk, is given up. That will bring up the right fielder, number 25, Tyler Henry. So Henry coming up. with a man on at first base and no outs here in the top half of the second inning, as we have no score.
And that's
Ball
one
thrown over to first base.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. But I was just going to say, Frank, one of the things the Rebel pitchers have been having a problem with is throwing strikes at times, and there's a lot of walks. We've seen a lot of walks, and I think there were 6 of them yesterday, and you're not going to be successful.
That one missing inside for ball 1 to Henry. Henry is a 5'9", 185-pounder from Gardner, Kansas, and he goes to Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Comes in batting .284. He's appeared in 30 ball games, been up to bat 102 times, has 29 hits, and has scored 18 runs. That one missing low for ball 2. So the count goes 2 balls, no strikes now to Henry.
And it was something we talked about earlier in the season, is how many runs are scored off walks and hit batters.
Especially early. That one fouled off there by Henry, and that will take the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Henry also has a total of 22 RBIs here this season. He has struck out 38 times. Ball thrown over to first base. Back safely is Bloomer. Good job there by Royal. Just letting Bloomer know that I'm not going to give you that free base by not keeping an eye on you. That one missing outside for ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike now to Tyler Henry. Second batter here in the top half of the second inning for the Great Bend Batcats, as there is a runner on at first base with no outs. That one hit hard into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. And Kassane comes up and scoops it up. And Bloomer will stop at second base. Henry is in with his first hit of the ball game. Matter of fact, that's the first hit of the ball game for either team. That will bring up the designated hitter, number 16, Christian Oliver. Christian Oliver is a left-handed batter, 5'9", 192-pound, from McMurray University, and his hometown is Atlanta, Texas. And sorry, I didn't mean to take your job there.
No, it's all right. No, I was looking. You actually have a little more information than I have on there.
That one hit to the right past the shortstop there, as the shortstop was covering. There's a ball thrown in by
The Etchelman.
Eshelman, yep.
Yeah, Eshelman.
And so the bases are going to be loaded now as Bloomer stops at third base. Henry moves to second, and Oliver on the first pitch drives it down in the gap there, right to the shortstop area where, like I say, the shortstop was covering second base. So that's 2 hits in a row now. That will bring up the third baseman, number 2, Chance Ragsdale. Ragsdale comes in batting .151, as he's appeared in 28 ball games, has been up to bat 86 times, has 13 hits and 13 runs scored. Bases are loaded now for the Great Bend Batcats, and we have no outs here in the top half of the second inning. Luke Royal trying to get out of an inning here. That one missing outside for ball 1. So that will take the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike to Chance Ragsdale.
You look at Great Bend, Coach Ward, he does a great job with these guys. I think he gets the most out of them. They're always competing. He does a great job.
And here's a pitch by Royal. That one missing outside as Martinez has to move out there to make that catch. And the count goes 2-1 now to Chance Ragsdale. And the defense is playing double play depth. Probably willing to give up a run if possible to get that double play. That one in the ground, missing low for ball 3.
And Luke right now, he's up to 33 pitches.
Yeah, Luke Rowe struggling here, especially this inning here. You got to remember, you got defense out there to back you up. Just throw strikes.
Right.
So Luke Royal ready to go. As it is a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one hit lifted into right field. Right fielder coming in making the catch and not going anywhere was Bloomer or Henry or Oliver. So a fly out to the right fielder. Garza for out number 1.
And again, you get to know these teams. Like if you notice, Garza was in a little. I mean, usually a little in more than usual. But that's because you get to know these hitters and what guys have pop there and who doesn't. Maybe they pull the pitch a little more. Or you can maybe shift a little.
So due up now is Carnegie. Seth Carnegie, shortstop for the Great Bend Batcats. He's a 6'3", 180-pounder from Agency, Missouri. College is Kansas City, Kansas Community College. So now there is one down with the bases full. That check swing, it looks like he did go that time. They do ask him, and they give him a strike.
To me, that was a no-brainer right there. I mean,
so the count goes to 0 balls and 2 strikes now to Seth Carnegie.
But they didn't ask me, Frank. So
no, they didn't ask you.
They didn't ask me.
But the umpire did the right thing.
Yeah, he did the right thing.
He went and asked the field umpire, which we could tell that he had gone. So here's the pitch by Royal. That one lifted into right field. Backing up is Garza. That's going to be over his head. So 1 run will score from third base. The Henry coming around from third as he was standing on second. And in with a double is Seth Carnegie and 2 RBIs.
I thought Garza might have had a chance at that. Again, he's not playing very deep, and but I mean he hit that ball well. So
he hit that ball well over the right fielder's head. Garza has 2 runs scored. Bloomer and Henry. Oliver stops at third base, and Carnegie now at second base, and the score is 2-0 in favor of Great Bend here in the top half of the second inning. And due up, the top of the lineup, center fielder number 4. Alex Rogers. First pitch to Rogers is called strike 1.
The one thing I've been impressed with the Batcats is they're two out hitting.
Well, that's definitely what has hurt the Newton Rebels this whole series, as how many runs that they have scored with 2 outs. That one, there's a throw down to third base. Looks like they didn't. No, they didn't. Okay, umpire said he was safe. Nice hard throw there by Martinez. And Riley was there to make the tag, but not in time. As the count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Rogers. Runners on at second and third with 1 down here in the top half of the second inning. That breaking ball in there nicely for Luke Royal. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's going to be interesting to see what Coach Clark does with his bullpen right now, because they have a break, with the All-Star game. So you have that couple of days break, and, he could throw some guys. He could, everybody could probably throw almost.
And if we would have this makeup game here today, they would have had a 3-game break.
Yep.
That one fouled off to the right-hand side over the first base dugout. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So instead of having a 3-day break, we'll have a 2-day break, as we do have the All-Star coming up tomorrow night.
You excited for that, Frank?
Yeah, I haven't been asked to announce, though. I'm kind of surprised. I did it last year for them, and they haven't called me yet. Here's the pitch. Ball hit hard to third baseman. That's going to be foul, as Nolan Riley dove for that.
That was close. That was very close.
It was right down the line, but it ended up going foul. So Oliver moves back to third base. Carnegie back to second.
Yeah, it looked like Coach Ward. He didn't try to fight the call or anything. So
the score is 2-0 in favor of Great Bend. They scored 2 runs here in the top half of the second inning. And here's Royals' pitch. That one missing high for ball 2. Has a good pitch to throw. Try to get him to chase something there. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Especially if they're batting 181 and have a total of 33 strikeouts. You try to get them with something not down the middle. And that's exactly what Luke Royal tried to do there. That one is a swing and a miss there by Alex Rogers. That is the second out of the inning and the second strikeout recorded by Luke Royal here in the ball game.
And Luke right there throwing some off speed. He has some very good off speed. And like I said, he used to be at Friends University, and I know he did a lot of the midweek games. He would pitch and, of course, play the field. He ended up being the leadoff hitter towards the end of it.
Brings up Colin Minert. That one gets away from Martinez, but right at his knees, was able to make a stop there. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to Colin Minert. Minert comes in batting .295. He's appeared at 30 ball games. That's 33 hits at 112 at bat. There's the pitch. That ball hits the second baseman. Nice job there by our second baseman. Lachlan Ross is playing second this evening as he goes to Andrews at first for out number 3. So a 4-3 put out in the books for the third out. Top half of the second inning for the Great Bend Batcats. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 1 1/2, it is the Great Bend 2 and Newton 0, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The score is 2-0 in favor of Great Bend. Due up for the Rebels is Bonventry, Martinez on deck, and Ross in the hole. And coming in to do his second inning of work is number 12, Adrian Talavera for the Great Bend Batcats.
Well, I was going to talk about the Boom a little. He's in that home run derby tomorrow, and he's pretty excited about it.
Okay. He does have a total of 7 home runs here this season. Comes in batting .300 here in this ball game. He's appeared in 29 ball games. He's been up to bat 90 times. Has 27 hits and has scored 20 runs. There's a fouled off there by Bonventry. Also has a total of 21 RBIs. You want to tell me where Bonventry's from?
Yeah, Detroit, Michigan. He goes to Lake Erie College. 6 foot, 210. He's pretty built. Just like we used to be, Frank. But
what do you mean used to be?
That's what you are.
Okay.
You're still. I'm a long ways from that.
Count is no balls and 1 strike. That one fouled off there by Bonventry.
It's good to see, like, Anzo's been a 3-year guy. This is 3rd year, and you've seen Luke Royal. I mean, he's a 3-year guy. It's nice to see some of the guys that want to stick around and come play for the Rebels.
Count goes no balls, 2 strikes now to Bonventry as we're just in the bottom half of the second inning. 2-0 to score in favor of Great Bend. That ball drove down the third base line, going to be foul as Ragsdale moved to his right, was not able to get to it.
Enzo has a unique swing. I mean, he's very strong. I mean, he gets that barrel out and hits that ball, it's going to go.
He's really rolling his wrist this year. That's something that I didn't notice that much of last year, but he's really rolling his wrist. Breaking ball, that one swung and a miss there by Bonventry. The ball gets away from the catcher, and they throw down to first base, and
he's okay.
Bonventry goes down.
They went down pretty hard.
Bonventry is down there at first base as the ball got away from the first baseman and was overthrown. And looks like he's going to be okay as he does get up. Like you say, he is in the just push up off.
Yeah, just push up. We got the Bears in town, baby. What's going on, Perry?
He is up in the home run derby, so we'll see what happens there. That was a strikeout. And a pass ball. He'll be on at first base. That's going to bring up the catcher number 23, Joey Martinez.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Looks like Bonventry's okay.
Yeah, he looks, He did hit pretty hard. He went down pretty hard.
Joey Martinez, give me his vitals there.
Okay, Joey from Glendale, Arizona, from Gateway Community College, 6 foot, 195, and he's a sophomore.
He comes in batting 294. Martinez tries to lay down a bunt down the first base side. First baseman does get the ball as Bonventry gets moved over to second base. So Joey Martinez with a sacrifice, unassisted at first base.
And one thing we always talk about, do your job, and Joey Martinez did his job. That's what he was asked of, and he did it.
That's going to bring up the catcher, the second baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross. With one down now. Pitch there by Talavera is in the dirt for ball 1.
Lachlan from Australia, Sydney, Australia, 195, Colby College, 6 foot, 195, a sophomore.
He comes in batting 308. It's going to give him an extra point there. And here's the pitch. That one missing. That's in the dirt. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes.
Talavera's, he's throwing quite a few. He's got a few in the ground right there.
Yeah, he's up to 23 pitches? Is that correct?
23, yeah.
Okay. As Lachlan Ross has appeared in 26 ball games, has been up the bat 78 times, has 24 hits, and has scored 16 runs. That one left it into right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. That should score Bonventry. As the throw does come in home, and in safely is Enzo Bonventry, and that is a base hit by Lachlan Ross and an RBI.
And that's what Ross does well. I mean, when he's hitting well, one thing we've noticed is that he'll take that outside pitch and go that way, and he hasn't been doing that lately, and it's good to see that he's back on track.
And Lachlan Ross records his 11th RBI of the season. That will bring up the right fielder, number 9, Eric Garza.
Garza from Houston, Texas, right-hander, 195 from 6'2", 195, El Paso Community College, and he is a sophomore.
I'm going to have to teach you how to read that.
That's right. I'll read it. Yes, I'll read it.
All right, so Garza is up. He comes in batting 167 for the Rebels. That one lifted to the right-hand side. That's going to be out of play as the count goes no balls and 1 strike. We do have a runner on at first base with 1 out, and the score now 2-1 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats as we are in the bottom half of the second inning. Bonventry reached on a base on balls, a strikeout, and then a pass ball, and then was moved over on a sacrifice by Martinez, and then a base hit by Ross scored Bonventry.
And one thing is, Garza, it's a work in progress with his approach, and we're talking about it, and he's getting better. He's figuring it out, like laying off some of those pitches like that.
Throw over to first base in safely is Ross. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Eric Garza.
Because he felt a lot of times he was getting himself out by swinging at bad pitches.
And Talavera ready to go. Here's his pitch. That one missing low for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Eric Garza.
As you know, playing ball, Frank, it's all about the count. I mean, the count between 1-2 and 2-1 or 3-1.
You definitely want it to be in your favor. And here's the pitch. Ball fouled off to the right-hand side there by Garza. That was almost hit at the end of the bat there.
yeah, he kind of spun off that.
So the count will now go even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ross is on at first base as he recorded his first hit of the ball game and an RBI to take the score to 2-1. Once again, if you're just now joining us, we welcome you to Newton Rebels Baseball. We hope you enjoyed the telecast. There's a throwback over to first base, and safely is Ross. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about the Newton Rebels Baseball. Go to YouTube, punch in Newton KS Rebels to check out all the action. We have 5 games left, plus the NBC World Series if we make it there. That one lifted into right field. Right fielder backing up, not going to be able to get to it. I don't believe it's going to be in for extra bases. Rounding third base will be Ross, and stopping at second base is Eric Garza. Garza in with a double and an RBI. The score now tied up at 2 apiece, as we are in the bottom half of the second inning.
And it's good to see that outside pitch, guys going that way. And if we've seen it a couple times now with Ross and Garza back to back, and I think they need to continue doing that.
Well, Garza records his second double of the season, and that is his 11th RBI. And that will bring up the left fielder number 5, Aaron Eshelman.
Eshelman, 5'8", 165 from going to school at Dordt University, and he's a junior.
In his hometown.
At Pretty Prairie.
There you go. That one lifted into left field. That's going to be foul, I believe. I got a shade that's down. I can't see that way. So the count goes no balls, 1 strike now to Aaron Eshelman, as there is a runner at second base with 1 down. The score tied up at 2 apiece, as the Batcats scored 2 runs in the top half of the second. Now the Rebels have scored 2 runs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss there by Eshelman, and the count goes no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Eshelman pulled that right shoulder. That right shoulder is a key, especially with lefties, and he pulled that shoulder right towards the first baseman.
Well, that was a good pitch there by Adrian Talavera. His count is no balls, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. That one lifted to shortstop. Shortstop moves over to first base for out number 2.
It's good hustle. He made it close.
Yeah, great job there by the shortstop, Carnegie. Throws that over to Baker at first base for the second out. So a 6-3 put out if you're scoring at home. And that will bring up the center fielder number 14, Sam Cassane.
Sam Cassane. The outfielder from Wichita, Kansas. 5'10", 180. He's going to school at Lindenwood University in St. Louis.
He comes in batting .254. So he's appeared in 20 ball games, has been up the bat 63 times, has 16 hits, and has scored 11 runs. And here's the, and we're going to have a, looks like they called a timeout first. Adrian Talavera was ready to throw the ball there, and he had to stop all of a sudden.
Yeah, sometimes I don't understand, because when you're starting, you know, you can get hurt too right there.
Oh, yeah, definitely can. So no pitch. And now here's the first pitch. That one hits the inside corner for strike 1. Eric Garza standing on at second base, as there is 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. Score tied up at 2 apiece. Garza got on with a double to right field, right center field, I should say, and scored an RBI. Swing and a miss there by Cassane, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
And this one thing that Sam Cassane's been working on, just taking that ball up the middle, and he's been very successful lately.
Well, if you saw Eshelman, that pitch was on the outside corner, and he just took it over to
the
left-hand side on the shortstop. But the shortstop, Carnegie, was able to make the play. That one fouled off there by Cassane, and the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes.
And they play him a slight pull. So he's pulled the ball quite a bit against these guys in the series.
Going back to second base is Garza, as we do have 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. And Adrian Talavera ready to go. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball, that one lifted to the second baseman. Minard goes over to first to Baker for out number 3. So a 4-3 put out for the third out. But the bottom half of the second inning for the Newton Rebels, they score 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, the score tied up at 2 apiece. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, joined by General Manager Mark Cavala as we go to the top half of the third inning. Due up for the Great Bend Batcats is the first baseman, number 20, Jake Baker. Mitchell on deck and Bloomer in the hole. Luke Royal, a name from the past, as he played with us last year, has come in to pitch for the Newton Rebels, finish off the season. And he is in his third inning of work. Here's the first pitch, breaking ball high for ball 1.
And Frank, I'm not even going to say it, but you know what kind of inning I want right here, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they had 1 in the first inning, and hopefully they can do the same thing. That ball lifted to the second baseman, past the second baseman's Ross's glove. So that's going to be a base hit there by Jake Baker as he hit that one hard.
He kind of rolled over on that, but it was effective. He hit it solid enough.
Yeah, Lachlan Ross moved to his left and tried to get that, but was not able to. So now batting will be the left fielder, number 6, Brady Mitchell. Most likely they'll be laying down a bunt here with the runner on, but this is the cleanup hitter, though. So we'll see what they do. Breaking ball in there for call strike 1. Nice pitch there by Luke Royal.
You know, and Mitchell, that home run yesterday and 2 RBIs, he got things going for the Batcats.
And here's Royal's pitch. That one lifted into center field. Center fielder Cassane backing up, getting under it, making the catch for out number 1. Heading back to first base will be Baker, as we have 1 down here in the top half of the third inning. Hard hit there by Mitchell, but just not far enough. Cassane just took a couple steps back and made the catch. That will bring up the catcher, number 3, Chandler Bloomer. Bloomer reached on a base on balls and scored a run, as Carnegie hit a double and scored Bloomer and Henry there in the top half of the second inning. Ball thrown over to first base. Nice scoop there by Lincoln Andrews, as that was into the dirt by Royal.
And looking at the 3 games that Coach Ward's put together, the series, he changes that lineup quite a bit.
There's the pitch by Royal. That one fouled off there by Bloomer, as that was inside. And the count goes no balls, 1 strike. Nice pitch there by Royal. So he kind of handcuffed him just a little bit. And he fouled that off to the left-hand side.
That's one thing we're talking about the Batcats. I think as a team, they're very patient, And they're also aggressive. I mean, they're not going to swing at some bad pitches usually.
Ball thrown over to first base once again. In safely is Jake Baker. No balls, one strike now to Chandler Bloomer, who's catching this evening for the Great Bend Batcats. Third batter correction up here in this inning. That one fouled off once again by Bloomer. Almost seems a little frustrated there on that swing as he thought maybe he should have been just a little bit quicker. So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
That's pitch 52 for Luke, so it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Clark's strategy is here and how long he can go.
And here's Royals' pitch. Swing and a miss there by Bloomer as he goes down swinging for out number 2. And that is the 3rd strikeout recorded by Luke Royal here this evening. That will bring up the right fielder, number 25, Tyler Henry. Now coming up to the plate.
Tyler Henry. Outfielder from Gardner, Kansas, 5'9", 185, his college, KCK.
Comes in batting .284. First pitch is ball 1 now to Henry. Once again, there is a runner on at first base with 2 down. That one into the ground. Nice job there by Martinez as he stays in front of it.
It's going to be exciting to see Joey Martinez playing tomorrow in the All-Star game. And basically, I think he made it as an outfielder. This shows his athleticism.
We have 7 players that will be in that All-Star game. That one fouled off there by Henry. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, Zach Bravo was one of our pitchers.
Right.
And let me see if I can name them all here real quick. We also have... That one is fouled off to the right-hand side. We also have Aaron Bechtel that will be...
It's been interesting because he's been injured.
Yeah, he's been injured, but he has made the All-Star team. We have Zach Bravo, and then we have Joey Martinez. We have Hibiki Uchi, also has made it. That's 4. And then we have Lincoln Andrews. A swing and a miss there by Henry as Baker was taken off before the pitch, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Great Bend Batcats, they score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. That strikeout by Luke Royal was the 3rd out of the inning, and that is the 4th strikeout recorded by Luke Royal here tonight. So at the end of 2.5 innings of play, the score tied up at 2 apiece between Great Bend and Newton, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The score tied at 2 apiece between Great Bend and Newton. Due up for the Rebels will be the leadoff hitter, shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman. He'll be followed by Riley and Andrews in the hole. Brotman struck out his first time at the plate. That was his 29th strikeout of the season. Comes in batting .269 for the Rebels, as he has appeared in 29 ball games. Has 32 hits at 119 at bat, and that one almost hits him. as Brotman backs out. And it is Adrian Talavera here in the third inning for the Great Bend Batcats. No ball, or 1 ball, no strikes now to Brotman. That one in there for call strike 1. So the count will even up now at 1-1. So we are in the bottom half of the third inning here in Newton, Kansas, Klein Scott Field. We hope you're enjoying the action. That one
there you go.
Into center field as it gets past the shortstop, Carnegie.
And that shows how strong he is, because that ball was kind of in the middle of the bat right there, and he still powered it through that infield, which is thick grass.
So Brotman records his first hit of the game. That is his 33rd hit of the season. That will bring up the third baseman, the number 55, Nolan Riley. So Riley now up, as we do have a runner on at first base with no out here in the bottom half of the third. Riley comes in batting .327. He's appeared in 16 ball games, has 18 hits at 55 at bat, and has scored 10 runs. First pitch to Riley was ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes now to Nolan Riley. Brotman on at first base as he just recorded his first hit of the ball game. There's a throw over to first base, not going to be in time. Brotman taking a pretty good lead over there at first base. That one was pretty close.
Well, he's aggressive by nature. We know that. So
we'll see here what Coach Brett Clark has on, if he's got anything or not. He looks like he gets a little bit bigger lead there. There goes Brotman. That one is fouled off to the right-hand side. Brotman was going all the way that time.
But that's good to see Coach Clark being aggressive. I mean, right now, I think that's what the team needs to do. And Riley's a very good hit-and-run guy. Just got a little under it.
So Brotman will go ahead back to first base, and the count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Adrian Talavera ready to go. Here's the pitch. That one fouled back behind the backstop. So the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 to count. Brotman still dancing around out there at first base. He takes a little bit bigger lead. That breaking ball misses. It was low and outside. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
No, Bloomer's been working hard. The catcher.
I was going to say, Bloomer really did a great job there staying in front of that one, as that thing really broke to the right there.
As a catcher, that's all you can do is just try to keep it right in front.
There's another throw over to first base, not in time.
And I see too many times, Frank, where they try to pick it up clean, the catcher. No, you just need to drop down, stop the ball. This is what Bloomer did right there.
We do have no outs here in the bottom half of the third. And here's the pitch. That one called strike 3 to Nolan Riley. That might have been right across the knees. And that is the first out of the inning.
And Riley, who does have a good eye, obviously what you were saying on his stats there, he hasn't struck out much this year. But, that's probably a little too close.
Yeah, you got to be protecting that plate when you got 2 strikes, that's for sure. But that one, like you say, was just right over the knees, but couldn't tell here from this angle. But the umpire thought it was across the plate. So that is the second strikeout recorded by Talavera. And that brings up the first baseman, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. That one right across the knees on the outside corner, as Lincoln Andrews is a left-handed batter.
I was talking to Lincoln before the game down by the dugout, and he said, everybody's been pitching him away lately. I said, well, there's a reason for that, Lincoln.
Andrews comes in batting .395 here for the season. There's another throw over to first base. In safely is Brotman. Talavera doing a good job of keeping that runner on at first base, making sure he doesn't take that steal. No balls, one strike now to Andrews. That one also hitting that outside corner. Great placement there by Talavera.
Yeah, that's definitely, there's the pitcher's pitch, and that was it right there.
The count is no balls, two strikes now to Lincoln Andrews. With one down here in the bottom half of the third inning. Score tied up at 2 apiece if you're just now joining us. 2 runs were scored in the top half of the second inning and by the Batcats, and 2 runs were scored in the bottom half of the second inning by the Rebels. That one lifted into center field. Center fielder having to go a long ways. Looks like he's going to make the catch. That's Alex Rogers.
Yeah, the left fielder could have just, 5-10 yards away, but Rogers came all the way over. I mean, how far would you say he traveled there, Frank?
Well,
like 40 yards or something?
30 to 40 yards there. And like you say, the left fielder didn't move that much, Mitchell. But catch was made by Rogers. So now there is 2 down. And that brings up the designated hitter, number 17, Enzo Bonventry. Bonventry struck out his first time and reached first base on a pass ball. And then got tripped up at first base. First pitch to Bonventry's outside on the outside corner for call strike 1. Runner on at first base with 2 down. Bonventry just going to have to learn how to throw that, hit that one right down the line, because that was perfect pitch. Now the throw down to first base. Brotman in safely.
I don't know if you're like me, but I'm waiting for Talavera to throw one away. He's throwing some kind of low in the dirt.
Well, with 2 down, you tend not to take that many chances, but he's got a good throw over to first base.
Yeah, I like pitchers just to get the hitter.
Breaking ball, missing out, went into the ground. Bloomer not able to come up with it, and moving over to second base is Andrew Brotman.
Okay, now right here, this is a good time for Enzo just to base hit, nothing too big, keep it short, get that RBI in there. He's got some speed there at second base.
That one calls strike 2, so the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Talavera's doing a good job keeping the ball down, keeping it more down in the pitcher zone, which is right around the knees and under.
Yeah, everything that this umpire has called has been right at the knees. And like you say, Talavera has really placed the ball nicely on those corners and at the knees. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bonventry. Watch for a breaking ball here, young man. There it is, and it's a low for ball 2. Count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Bonventry, with Brotman on at second base and 2 down here in the bottom half of the third. I think Bonventry needs to be thinking protecting that plate now, as there is 2 strikes on him. And here's the pitch. Fastball missing, low for ball 3. So 3-2 now the count. What are you looking for?
I was just looking at that. You have Lincoln Andrews up there, but I was looking at how many hits his consistency.
Yeah, been real consistent.
It's like 2 games and maybe the last 15 where he's been hitless. That's pretty amazing.
So we have a full count now. That one hit to the shortstop. Shortstop Carnegie goes to first for out number 3. So a 6-3 put out for the third out. Here in the bottom half of the third inning for the Newton Rebels, they scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 3 innings of play, the Rebels 2 and the Batcats 2. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the top half of the fourth inning. The score 2-2. Due up for the Batcats will be the designated hitter number 16, Christian Oliver. It will be followed by Ragsdale and Carnegie in the hole. Luke Royal starting his fourth inning of work here tonight.
You know, it's made Uchi's been catching a lot of games lately, right? Uchi, I mean, you and I talk about that, and there he is. He's catching the warm-up pitches right here. I mean, the guy that, you know, he figured he wanted to take a break today, but no, he's that kind of guy. He wants to be in there.
So far for Luke Royal, who is pitching here tonight, as he starts his fourth inning of work. He has gone 3 innings, has given up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 base on balls, has 4 strikeouts as he has faced 15 batters, and he is at 58 pitches. So Christian Oliver now coming up for the Batcats. Here's Royal's pitch, swing and a miss there by Oliver as the count goes to no balls and 1 strike.
And it looks like Luke right now, he's looking more comfortable as each inning's gone.
Yeah, he's very, very smooth out there. Oliver comes in batting .222. That one is lifted into center field. Kassane not able to get to it as he got a little bit of a late start. Jump on it. Now the ball gets away from the shortstop. A throw over to first base as Nolan Riley was backing that up.
Yeah, that was kind of, Kassane needs to hit that cutoff. And you don't want to take, that guy has speed right there. And you do not want to sit there and watch Oliver take second on a missed, what do you call it?
Just
relay.
A bad throw, yeah.
Yes,
that was
relay.
at the feet of Brotman, and Brotman was not able to come up with it. But luckily, Nolan Riley was backing him up and got the ball, and Oliver had to go back to first base. So Oliver records his second hit of the ball game. That ball is lifted foul. That Ragsdale is up, third baseman, here for the Great Bend Batcats. So the count goes no balls, 1 strike now to Ragsdale. Oliver at first base here in the top half of the fourth inning. And Luke Royal pitching, the ball thrown over to first base. Oliver in safely.
I always find it interesting, Frank, to see when some pitchers throw to first, they throw harder than they do to home.
Yeah,
It seems like it.
Here's the pitch. That one missing outside for ball 1. Good pitch there by Luke Royal. Just misses the corner as the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Count goes 2-1 now to Chance Ragsdale.
Trying to see if there's anybody in the bullpen right now just to warming up.
It is. I am curious, like you are, to see how many pitches is going to be allowed to throw here tonight.
Yeah.
That one fouled off there by Ragsdale. Once again, Ragsdale comes in batting .151 for the Batcats.
Guess we could send Perry the Bear out here, and he's our spotter out there, and see who's out there in the bullpen again.
Count goes 2-2 now to Ragsdale. Runner on at first base and no outs. Here's the pitch. That one a breaking ball into the ground and just missing. Good stop there by Martinez. Kept Oliver at first base. But the count goes full now at 3-2.
I'm very impressed with Martinez. This is the first time he's caught Luke Roy. Just met him today, it's about 2 hours ago. So
here's the pitch. There goes Oliver. A ball hit to the in between the gap between third base and shortstop. And Ragsdale records his first hit of the game. We have back-to-back singles now given up by Royal, as Oliver will be on at second base. Ragsdale will be on at first. And that brings up the shortstop, number 7, Seth Carnegie. Carnegie reached on a double his first time up, and 2 RBIs as he hit one over the head of Eric Garza in right field. I said Martinez because Martinez played right field yesterday.
And be ready for a steal. I wouldn't put it past, Coach Warb doing the double steal.
Here's the pitch by Royal. bunt attempt that was by Carnegie, and it is called strike one.
And I'll tell you why, because, Royal has a high leg kick, and if you look at the shortstop right now, Brotman's playing way back, so you can get a couple, as you're talking to the runner at second, you get a few more extra steps.
So the count is no balls, one strike now to Carnegie. And Luke Royal ready to work. And he steps off this time, and Oliver has to go back to second base. Over to first is Ragsdale.
It's usually up like when the shortstop's playing back like that. If you guys look on your screen, it's up to the second baseman to kind of keep that guy back there, keep him honest at second.
Here's the pitch. That went into the ground. And a scoop there by Martinez.
But the tough part is he has to get back in case he does bunt. If he bunts, the first baseman crashing, and unless they have some special play, but who's going to be on first base to catch the ball?
So the count evens up now at 1 ball, 1 strike now to Seth Carnegie. And here's Royal's pitch. That one once again low for ball 2. And Martinez has to move to his left there to make that stop. Oliver on at second base. Ragsdale on at first as they've hit back-to-back singles to start off the top half of the fourth inning. That one missing high for ball 3. 3-1 now the count. Royal has given up 2 base on balls so far here in the ball game. Don't want to do it here because that will load the bases with no outs. That one fouled off there by Carnegie. Full count now at 3-2.
70th pitch right there, Frank.
3 balls, 2 strikes now to Seth Carnegie, shortstop this evening for the Great Bend Batcats. Score tied up at 2 apiece here in the top half of the fourth inning. Here's the pitch by Royal. That ball hit right up the middle. That's going to be in for a base hit. Oliver will be rounding third base, and looks like Hussein misplayed that, and then he throws the ball to third base instead of throwing it to second base. So now Oliver will score from second base. Ragsdale ends up at third base, and Carnegie ends up at second base.
Yeah, right there we talked about the minimize time right there. Because Hussein should have just threw it to second base, keep the corners, keep them honest. You can get that. You can maybe get the double play, but now you got 2 runners in scoring position.
So Carnegie records his second hit of the game and an RBI. There is going to be an error on the play as Luke Royal misplayed that, and runners advanced. I said Luke Royal. I'm sorry, Hussein. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, and one thing that's kind of intrigued me, I guess, I don't know what better word to say, is how our outfielders, this is our field, they should know they have to go down and get the ball because the ball does hang up there. And we've seen that, 3 or 4 times now with our outfielders the last couple of games.
They've just misplayed the ball out there. And due up now is Alex Rogers with no outs and runners on at second, third. The score now 3-2 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats. Well, we shut them out last inning, but this inning not going to happen, looks like. But they need to minimize things here. And Luke Royal ready to go to work. That one lifted to the right-hand side. Lincoln Andrews, well, nice job there by. Now there's the throw into home. They're going to get him out at home. Oh, wow. Looked like the umpire called him safe.
Yeah, Coach Clark's going to be talking about this one.
Coach Clark, I'm sure, is going to be coming in. That was a great tag there by Martinez as Lachlan Ross ran all the way down to the line there and called Andrews off, made the catch, and threw a strike into home as Martinez, it was on the first base side, but Martinez turned around and made a great tag there at home plate, but the umpire thought he was in safely. So now the score is 4-2 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats. So now there is 1 down, And Rogers flew out to second baseman for that out. And that will bring up the second baseman, number 2, Colin Minard.
Yeah, we will have to try to get that instant replay thing that you wanted for next year. We'll have to see if we can afford that one.
I would like to see that one over again.
I know
because I thought he made a great tag there right as he was sliding and was not at home plate yet. But umpire has a closer angle, I guess.
And one thing I probably would have done is throw the ball over to third base if he left early because yeah.
That one missing by Luke Royal. So the count will go now to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Because he got there pretty quick. I mean, Ross, made that catch and he's just over by first base about 5 yards.
Now Ross was heading towards the foul line area, but that one called strike 2. So the count will go now to 2 balls, 2 strikes to Colin Minard. Minard walked his first time, had a stolen base, and was left stranded at second base. Then he grounded out to the second baseman. That one into the ground.
So, yeah, Martinez done a great
count
job.
Is full at 3-2.
Any ball that he lets go by is a run.
And we only have 1 out, guys. Okay, thank you. So we have 1 out here in the top half of the 4th inning. That one hit to the third baseman, and Riley moves to his right, but it's in foul territory. And the count is full now, 3-2. Runner at third base with 1 down here in the top half of the 4th. As the Batcats have scored 2 runs, that one lifted to the right-hand side. That's going to be a replay. This time Lincoln Andrews makes the catch, and he throws it into home. And Martinez this time turns around, and then he turns around without the ball. And scoring from third base is Seth Carnegie. Great job there by Lincoln Andrews as he threw. He did throw it into the ground in Martinez's defense, but Martinez got it on the bounce, but just did not hang on to the ball as it fell out of his glove as he turned around to make the tag. So the score now is 5-2 in favor of Great Bend as they scored 3 runs here in the top half of the 5th inning. Correction, 4th inning.
Yeah, that's tough play because he comes up clean with that. I think he just rushed the tag part of it, and that's what happens. You got to make sure the ball's in your glove.
That's second out of the inning now, and brings up first baseman number 20, Jake Baker. 2-0 to count to Baker. That last one misses low and inside. Nobody on base with 2 down here in the top half of the 4th inning. And here's Royals' pitch. That one lifted into right field for a base hit. Nice job there by Baker as Baker records his 2nd hit of the game, and misplayed there by Eric Garza, but Baker not able to advance.
You remember in the old days what they tell you, get on the knee if you have to, just get on the knee, stop the ball, and the guys are running right by the ball, and they should know that the ball will hang up.
Well, I've never been out in the outfield. I have been in the infield, and the infield is awful thick. I don't know if the outfield's that thick or not.
It's pretty thick, but, you know how to play that.
Well, we need to get on our ground screw.
Yeah.
That went in there for call strike 1 to Brady Mitchell, who's playing left field this evening.
Well, I think everybody rushes. Everybody's rushing. They speed up everything, and they're not watching the ball into the glove.
As this is the 7th batter up for the Batcats here this inning. Count is no balls, 1 strike, and that one missing outside. That one getting away from Martinez on a wild pitch as Baker will move over to second base. Martinez does hustle after the ball. That one was into the ground, and Martinez had no chance. The count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Luke Royal trying to get out of this inning as he's given up 3 runs here in the top half of the 4th inning on 4 hits so far this inning. That ball missing high for ball 2. So the count is 2 balls, 1 strike now to Brady Mitchell.
I mean, if you look at point streak, they have 48 strikes, 38 balls. 39.
And Luke Royal ready to work. That one missing high, and Martinez was, as Baker was about a third of the way down to third base, and Martinez came out trying to throw to somebody. Finally, Brotman covered second base, and Baker went back to second base. No throw there by Martinez. Probably a wise move. As the count now is 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one in there right at the knees for strike 2. So the count will go full now at 3-2 to Brady Mitchell.
And the umpire, Darren Baker, he's been very consistent with that low pitch around the knees.
Yes, he has. And, you know, overall this year, I think the umpiring has really been outstanding. That one missing outside for ball 4. So Mitchell will be on with the base on balls. That will get guys at first and second as Baker's still at second base. That will bring up the catcher number 3, Chandler Bloomer.
Again, in this series, we haven't counted up all the walks by the Rebels pitchers, but it hasn't helped. It hasn't helped the team on that. I know that.
Bloomer is 0 for 1 here tonight, as he did reach on a base on balls and scored a run in the second inning, and then struck out his next time up in the third inning as he made the second out. Here's Royals pitch. That one a swing and a miss there by Bloomer, and the count goes no balls and 1 strike. Baker on at second, Mitchell on at first with 2 down.
Royal had some nasty movement on that. That was a good pitch for especially little off speed type.
And here's Royals pitch. That swing and a miss there by Boomer, and the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes. Once again, that ball just dropped off.
Yeah,
and a very good movement there by Luke Royal.
I threw the same pitch.
There is 2 down here in the inning.
I think when a guy looks bad on a pitch, just throw the same thing. Make him sure he can hit it, but I'm not calling it, so I'm calling the game.
And here's Royals pitch. One fouled off there by Bloomer along the third base side. Count stays no balls and 2 strikes.
I could ask Bear over here, one of the best catchers ever, about what he would call right there.
We do have runners on at first and second with 2 down, and Luke Royal now steps off. Trying to get re-prepared here. Figure out what to throw to get Bloomer out. And here's Royals pitch. Fastball gets away into the ground there. Gets past Martinez. And both runners will advance as Baker moves to third base. Mitchell moves to second. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that's something definitely we didn't want or need.
No.
Definitely don't need a repeat of it. 1-2 the count, and we're ready to go. Here's Royals pitch. A ball hit to up the middle, and a diving effort there by Brotman. Not able to come up with it, and 2 runs will score as Baker scores from third base and Mitchell scores from second, and then Bloomer gets his first hit of the ball game and 2 RBIs. And boy, that's what that pass ball did for us there, or that wild pitch, I should say.
And the Great Bend have been amazing with the 2-out hits in this series.
Yeah, once again, the Great Bend Batcats make the Newton Rebels pay for that advancement of the runners. The Batcats might have scored 1 run on that, but not 2. And I think that's going to be it for Luke Royal. So Luke Royal will give you his final numbers. And coming in to pitch will be number 16, and I believe that is one of our new guys, Patton.
Andrew Patton
will be coming in to pitch, and we'll get his.
There you go. Andrew Patton, he's from Columbia, Missouri, 6'2", 205, a junior from Lake Erie University. He's a teammate of the Boom.
Okay, so Andrew Patton now coming in to pitch for the Newton Rebels. Patton comes in with a 9.81 ERA. He has appeared in 4 ball games, has pitched 7 1/3 innings, has a total of 7 strikeouts, 6 base on balls, and has given up 10 hits.
And he also pitched yesterday 3 innings.
He pitched 3 innings yesterday, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 hits. He had 4 base on balls, 3 strikeouts in yesterday's appearance. So looks like Andrew Patton now coming in for the Newton Rebels. And we'll give you Luke's final numbers. Luke Royal, that is. He goes 3 2/3 innings, gives up 9 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs, 3 base on balls, 4 strikeouts as he faced 23 batters. And that runner on at first base will be recorded to him if he does score. That's going to bring up the 9th batter in the lineup, right fielder number 25, Tyler Henry. Now coming up the bat. Tyler Henry comes in batting .284. He's appeared in 30 ball games, and here's the first pitch by Patton. That one missing inside for ball 1. He has been up the bat 102 times, has 29 hits.
He's been hit 3 times in the series.
Swing and a miss there by Henry, and the count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. We have Bloomer on at first base with 2 down. As the Great Bend Batcats have scored 5 runs. And there's a breaking ball that gets away from Martinez, so Bloomer will head to second base and round second, but we'll stop there. Another pass ball. Might have been a wild pitch. I just saw the tail end of it. That was in the ground, though.
Wild pitch? Is that a wild pitch? That's fair. He's a catcher. He's always going to say wild pitch.
So the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike now. And stepping off is Andrew Patton. Well, Martinez didn't have much of a chance. That was into the ground there, I thought. And here's the pitch. That ball hit hard down the third base side is foul. That really sounded like I had a lot of wood on that one, didn't it?
Yeah, you got around on it. Some good bat speed.
Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Tyler Henry. We are in the top half of the 4th inning. The score 7-2 in favor of Great Bend. They have scored 5 runs here in the top half of the 4th inning. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball hit to Riley. Riley comes up and fires a strike over to Lincoln Andrews at first base. So a 5-3 put out for the 3rd out, but not before the Great Bend Batcats score 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, it is the Batcats 7 and the Rebels 2, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The score is the Great Bend Batcats 7 and the Newton Rebels 2. Just a bad top half of the fourth inning there, Carv.
Well, yeah, it's been that way. I mean, we've been a lot of times from behind, but guess what? This team can come back.
Oh, yeah.
And,
they got plenty of bat power, that's for sure. And so they can definitely come back. Unfortunately, here lately, we've been short, at the end.
Been short at the end.
And we've had guys on base. I think the last two nights we've had the bases loaded, but not able to put all the runs that we needed across. So we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Newton Rebels. Due up is the catcher, number 23, Joey Martinez. Martinez had a sacrifice bunt as he moved Bonventry over in the second inning, and Bonventry ended up scoring a run on a double by Eric Garza. Correction, that was a single by Lachlan Ross, and then a double by Garza scored Lachlan Ross. Count is 1 ball, no strikes now to Joey Martinez as we are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Adrian Talavera.
Let's see.
Starting his fourth inning of work, and that pitch was right on the inside corner for strike one. So that will even up the count now at 1 ball, 1 strike to Martinez. Breaking ball into the ground.
I was just looking at Talavera. I mean, he's got 54 pitches. 52 going into this inning. So, I mean, it's, he seemed to have found it too, been efficient the last couple innings.
And not only that, but he got a pretty good rest there in the top half of the fourth inning. That one is fouled off there by Martinez, and the count will go 2 balls and 2 strikes. Due up next is Ross, and Garza in the hole. Martinez is still up there battling. Swing and a miss there by Martinez as he goes down for out number 1. And that is the 3rd strikeout recorded by Adrian Talavera. That will bring up the second baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross. Ross comes in batting .308 as he's appeared in 26 ball games, has 24 hits at 78 at bat, and has scored 16 runs here for the season. So Ross ready to go here. That first pitch in there for strike 1. That was right down the middle.
And I think with this lead, I think Talavera's going to mess around. He's just going to come right after you.
That's what I would do with that 7-2 lead. Just throw strikes, young man. That one breaking ball misses for ball 1. And I'm talking about when I say just throw strikes, young man, I'm talking to any pitcher that has a lead. Not necessarily to Talavera, but I'm talking about any pitcher. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Ross. And here's the pitch. That one lifted into left field, or correction, the shortstop. Backs up a couple. It looked like it was going to be over the shortstop's head, and all of a sudden I started seeing it fade, kind of just hanging up there.
Well, the swing, he had a good swing, but it was on the inside part of the bat, so it wasn't going to go too far.
And Carnegie backs up a couple steps, makes the catch for out number 2. That will bring up the right fielder, number 9, Eric Garza. Garza is 1 for 1 this evening as he reached on a double and scored a run. Had an RBI. That ball hit to the third baseman, Ragsdale. Ragsdale goes to first for out number 3. So a 5-3 put out for the third out. And the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Newton Rebels. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 4 innings of play, Great Bend 7 and Newton 2. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, joined by General Manager Mark Cavala as we go to the top half of the fifth inning. Due up for the Batcats will be the designated hitter, number 16, Christian Oliver. He'll be followed by Raxdale and Carnegie.
Yeah, Frank, and one of the biggest things that we always talk about, one of our goals is prevent the big inning, and we've been talking about that all summer. And then you look and there's a 5 spot, and it's just killed the Rebels, and it just happens. I mean, it's just like, why does it happen? Little things make it go, and it's unexplainable sometimes, especially that 5 runs, and the plays. It's sometimes the plays, not the plays you made, the ones you didn't make.
So due up once again for the top half of the fifth inning for the Batcats, the designated hitter, number 16, Christian Oliver. Oliver is 2 for 2 here tonight, as he had a single in the second and was left stranded at third base, and a single in the fifth and scored a run. First pitch is called strike one now to Oliver. So the count is no balls, 1 strike. As Andrew Patton came in the fourth inning. As Luke Royal went 3 2/3 innings. That ball hit to Lincoln Andrews at first base. That's going to be off his glove as Andrews had to move to his right. Took a big bounce for him, but went in his glove and bounced out. So in for another base hit.
Yeah, and that's something he usually has a routine play. He's one of the best first basemen in the league, and defense also, not just hitting, but he can play some defense, and just went right off hit the end of his glove there.
Yeah, that may be an error. I was going to say an error instead of a base hit. Yeah. So Oliver will be on at first base. That's going to bring up the third baseman, number 2, Chance Ragsdale. So far, the Great Bend Batcats have 7 runs on 9 hits. Yeah, let's see here. 5, 6. Yeah, on 9 hits. And breaking ball there by Patton. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes as Ragsdale is up with a runner on at first base.
And just like yesterday, Patton has some good off speed. I mean, those guys haven't figured him out in a way. I mean, he's had that off speed.
Breaking ball outside. That will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I know he went the first couple of innings. He did well yesterday. Then yesterday he got behind where they scored those runs, but he's been doing a good job.
There goes Oliver. That ball is lifted into foul territory along the third base side. Oliver was going on the pitch, and the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Coach Ward, he's going to stay aggressive. He's going to keep it going, which you should do. You should always stay aggressive.
Always play aggressive ball, no matter what the score is. A swing and a miss there is fouled off there by Ragsdale. I thought he had him out there, but that ball must have fouled off because it hit Martinez on the right hand. So the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But Patton, his ball is, it's breaking big right there. It's one thing hitters don't like as much as breaking balls. They love fastballs.
So Patton ready to go, and here's the pitch. A fastball in the outside corner, throw down to second base as Oliver is in there safely. And a stolen base there by Oliver.
Thought he might, I guess not. I was blocked out a little by the pole there, Frank. I don't know if you could see it.
Good throw there by Martinez, but just not in time. He was in there safely. So like you say, Coach Roger Ward keeping the guys
aggressive.
Well, and that's how good teams should play.
And you got to look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to the World Series too. I mean, and they're sitting in a better position than we are.
Here's the pitch. That one missing high for ball 4. So the count, the Ragsdale will be on with a base on balls, and Oliver will be on at second base as we have no out here in the top half of the 5th inning, bringing up the shortstop, number 7, Seth Kanegi. And Andrew Patton ready to go to work. There's a breaking ball just missing inside for ball 1. 7-2 is the score here in the top half of the 5th inning in favor of Great Bend. They have runners on at first and second with no outs. And here's the pitch. That's a breaking ball hit in the outside corner. That will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. And I'm going to check something here real quick, make sure that we're on. Have not heard anything from anybody. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Nice pitch there by
that dropped quite a bit
Andrew
right
Patton.
there.
Looks like we're good, Mr. Carve.
All right.
1-2 now the count to Kanegi. And here's Patton's pitch. That's fouled off there by Kanegi, so he just got the end of the bat on that ball.
And it's amazing because, off speed, you get some bad swings or whatever, you know what I mean, right there. But hitters, like I said, they love the fastball, and I agree. That's you got to show your fastball, but just where you locate it is the key.
Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Kanegi. Here's the pitch. That one missing high for ball 2. That runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. There goes the runners, and a swing and a miss there by Kanegi. The runners advance to second and third. So Patton records his first strikeout.
Yeah, they did the double steal.
Double steal on a strikeout, exactly. And that's a good call there by Coach Ward. That will bring up the center fielder, number 4, Alex Rogers. They are now runners on at second and third with 1 down. Rogers grounded out to the third baseman. Breaking ball in there for call strike 1. Struck out his second inning. And then grounded out, or flew out, correction, to the second baseman. So he's 0 for 3 here tonight. Breaking ball, swing and a miss there by Rogers as the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. What a great pitch there by Andrew Patton as he kept that ball up there in the eye level, but it broke down around the shoulders and right across the letters almost, but had Rogers well ahead of that pitch. And here's the pitch. That one lifted to the shortstop, Brotman. Brotman goes to first for out number 3. Great play there by Brotman. But a run does score as Oliver comes in to score from third base. Ragsdale moves to third base on the play.
Yeah, and that was the only play Brotman had, and he did a great job going to his right because we were talking he usually goes to his left better than his right, but right there he showed he can go that direction.
So 6-3 put out for the second out. Brotman, I noticed Brotman loves to throw across his body like that, and he's just a great athletic move there.
I think all shortstops like to show that. And
on the run.
On the run. That's what I'm saying.
It just looks like it's poetry in motion.
Yeah.
When they do that. That one missing outside for ball 1 is Colin Minard is up. That one in there for call strike 1. 1-1 now the count as Ragsdale's standing at third base with 2 down. Another run has scored to make the score 8-2 now in favor of the Great Bend Batcats. The Newton Rebels need to shut the door here not allow any more runs. There's a swing and a miss there by Minard. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another great pitch there by Patton. We cannot allow any more runs as we are in the 5th inning here. And here's the pitch. That fastball missing low. Nice job there by Martinez to stay in front of it. And that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 8-2 is the score.
Catching. Like I said, I got one of the best ones right here. Perry Bruner blocking balls, and it's tough, man.
Here's the pitch, breaking ball. That one's going to be lifted to the shortstop, and Brotman not able to hang it on to it as it goes right up his arm. So another run will score as Ragdale comes across, and Minard will be on with an error to the shortstop. And that makes it now 9-2 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats. That's going to bring up the first baseman, number 20, Jake Baker.
And again, with 2 outs, they score. I mean, it's just one of those things in this series.
Throw down to second base, not going to be in time by Martinez as Minard steals second base.
Like I said, they're going to keep aggressive.
And if you don't hold them on,
yeah,
they're going to do that.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened. The Patton just did not look him over or anything, and took off on the pitch. And Martinez had no chance there. That went in there missing inside for ball 2.
You need to change your looks. You could step off.
Yeah.
There's numerous different things you can do. Change your rhythm.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's what was happening early in the season for the Newton Rebels. There was a lot of stolen bases, but they weren't on the catchers. They were basically on the pitchers. They're just not making a move over there, and you've got to do that, especially against an aggressive team. Ball hits the second baseman, Ross. Ross goes to Andrews at first base for out number 3. So a 4-3 put out for the third out, but not before the Great Bend Batcats scored 2 runs. And I had no hits, 2 errors.
That's not good.
And 1 left on base. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, it is the Batcats 9 and the Newton Rebels 2, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The score is 9-2 in favor of Great Bend. Due up for Newton will be the left fielder number 5, Aaron Eshelman. He'll be followed by Kassane and Brotman in the hole. And the Newton Rebels have their backs against the wall here, Mark, as they're down 9-2 here in the ball game as we are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They're going to have to start getting guys on base and start scoring some runs.
Right, and it's been one of those games where not a lot's going right for the Rebels, and hopefully they could turn around. We've seen them score 7 runs before. We've seen them do a lot of things, positive like that, and it's definitely time to do that.
Well, they definitely have the ability to do it. Just getting it done now. First batter is the left fielder number 5, Aaron Eshelman. So we are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Eshelman grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. That first pitch is low for ball 1.
And right now, I think we need runners. It's like we were talking, you can't hit a 7-run home run and one swing. So you just need to get runners, get on base, get things going, get some momentum going.
Talavera is starting his 5th inning of work. So far he's gone 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, no base on balls, 4 strikeouts as he has faced 16 batters. That ball lifted into center field. Rogers moves to his right, makes the catch for out number 1.
And in the last inning, he only threw, we figured out 8 pitches, and now right now, that's what, 2 pitches? What was the count there, Frank?
I don't know.
Was
I
that-
was,
yeah,
I
I
was
think it was
going
2.
to the stats there,
So, you want him to.
that's your job to
Yeah,
balls and strikes.
okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
But the thing is, I counted 8 last inning, and
Yeah.
now the 2. Let's say this inning,
Okay.
and you gotta get guys on base.
That brings up the center fielder, number 14, Sam Cassane. Cassane grounded out to the second baseman his first time up as he made the third out in the second inning. First pitch to Cassane is called strike 1 on the inside corner. And Talavera has just been pitching a really good game here for the Batcats. That one misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count to Sam Cassane. We've had a couple misplayed plays out in the outfield that have allowed runners to advance, and stuff like that. Just it keeps building, keeps adding up, and you just can't do that.
Well, you have so many outs in a game, and how many? And we talked about that. How many of the outs? How many are hard outs? How many, easy outs? And if you look at that, if you look at a game and say, okay, to judge your performance, look at how many outs are easy. And
count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one missing. That one does hit Cassane in the elbow, so he will be taking his base as a hits batsman. And that will bring up the shortstop, number 1, Andrew Brotman. Brotman is 1 for 2 here tonight as he struck out his first time up and then got a base hit in the third inning, but was left stranded at second base.
And what's interesting is that the easiest out on the offense is a strikeout, and we've only had 3 strikeouts.
Oh, he only has 3 strikeouts for the ball game. Exactly right. A lot of putouts. So Adrian Talavera ready to get to work here. The first pitch misses inside for ball 1. As Cassane's on at first base with 1 down here in the bottom half of the 5th. 9-2 is the score in favor of Great Bend.
And I'm just saying right now with Talavera, start work. I mean, he should be starting to get tired sometime here. He's around 70 pitches, and
that one missing for ball 1 as that was low. We'd like to say hi to Grace Bonventry. Also Chris Howard Jr. Like to say hi to him. That one missing inside for ball 3. 3-0 now the count.
And I just think right now, this is what Brotman's doing. Be patient. Be patient right now. Don't help him out. Definitely don't swing 3-0, which I know he won't.
And we'd like to thank Marty Patton, who actually said that Andrew Patton pitched 3 innings last night. No hits, no runs, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, and has an ERA of 5.07. And he says he's just being a dad. And I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
Don't blame him.
I've been impressed with Andrew. So
yeah, I do remember talking about this before this ball game even got started, that we said the stats were not correct last night, and I apologize about reading them because I do remember that they were not correct. The wrong pitcher got the credited. So we'll get those
so that's just what we saw. But I just remember, I remember him throwing a couple of scoreless. I just figured that last inning he must, I know they were getting on him, a couple walks or whatever. But he pitched 3 innings last night, and he's done a good job tonight.
Yeah. So Brotman is on with a base on balls. That will bring up the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley.
Now Riley needs to be patient also and get something going. You got the meat of the order going to be coming up.
As Brotman moves to first, Cassane moves to second. Riley has 0 for 2 here tonight. He flew out to right field the first time up and then struck out his second time up in the third inning. That first pitch is in there for call strike 1. And this umpire has like a strikeout strike
for
movement on that first
instead
strikeout.
Of just like that.
Yeah, it's not a point one. It's like he's pulling a bow and arrow.
The old bow and arrow.
But there goes the runner to third base. Nice hustle there by Sam Cassane as he steals third base.
Yeah, I mean, Sam right there. And again, when you have the shortstop playing way back and the guy's not really paying attention to you, that's an easy steal from second base.
So Cassane is now at third base. Brotman's still at first.
Yeah, now Brotman should have broke one. As soon as he breaks, he's got to go.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. Brotman should have been on the move there. That's fouled off there by Riley because he can't get two guys out at once.
As soon as he breaks, you break.
Right. He can only throw one place. He can only throw to third or he can only throw to second. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Nolan Riley with the runner on at first and third and one down here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Rebels need base runners and a swing and a miss there. Fouled off. No, it is a swing and a miss. I thought I saw the ball that was going towards the batter's box there, but it was the foot of the catcher, it looks like.
And that's second strikeout. And Riley usually doesn't strike out that much.
So that brings up the first baseman, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. Andrews has flown out to center field twice here tonight. And Mr. Patton, you are welcome. And we apologize once again for giving the wrong information. I had forgotten about there's a ball. Throw ball over to first base in safely is Brotman. Nice pickoff move there by Talavera. Was not able to get him.
Yeah. He likes throwing that over there a lot more than most pitchers.
So Lincoln Andrews is up, and now he calls timeout as Talavera just was taking a little bit longer than normal. Lincoln ready to go. Runners on at first and third with 2 down now here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Rebels need to do something. There's a swing and a miss there by Andrews. There you go. Andrew Brotman took off on the pitch, so he ends up at second base.
Yeah, and I mean, situation, if you look at the infielders, they're playing a pool. Lincoln Andrews a pool, and the shortstop's playing back. You can get that stolen base.
And we do know that Lincoln Andrew has some power, so we'll see what he can do here. That one's fouled off by Andrews. As the count stays 0 balls and 2 strikes. I think he had like 6 strikeouts, 7 now, or not strikeouts, but home runs. He has had 7 home runs so far for the season and has 35 RBIs.
He's had some big games. You just look at that. 2 home runs against the Diamond Dogs, 5 RBIs.
He is batting .395 as he's got 45 hits at 114 at bat. That one a swing and a miss there by Andrews, and he gets thrown out at first base for the 3rd out. So the bottom half of the 5th inning for the Newton Rebels, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 5 innings of play, it is the Great Bend Batcats 9 and the Newton Rebels 2, and we'll be right back.